You've been a funeral director now for 40 years. Does getting a cremation first and then a memorial after help keep costs down?
It certainly can. Obviously there are a few items that you don't need when you do this, what I call back to front funeral. So caskets is certainly a cost saving when you're doing this cremation first. The casket doesn't have to be carryable, it doesn't have to be quite so durable, and it's not on show. So a very simple ply pine casket can be a great way of still coming and saying goodbye, but not for the public. Embalming is a really important thing, I think, when you're spending time with the deceased. To say goodbye gives you that time. But if it's not for others to attend, it's only you, then it can be done without embalming. It can be, presentation can happen without embalming if it's only going to be the cremation the next day or day after. And the hearse is the other area. You don't really need a hearse for a whole day or booked for a whole funeral. It's just for the small private cremation, which can be a very short period of time, usually an hour at the most. And of course, if you are going back to have a memorial service a day or a week or even the same day, you don't need that vehicle tied up all day. A really good example of this was recently had a family who wanted, they were quite private, but the person that died was a real extrovert and had lots of friends, and they could feel that friends needed to have a chance to say goodbye, but they still wanted to do something private. They didn't want to be the focus. So they arranged for a small, private, informal gathering with direct family here at the crematorium, and afterwards they advertised that there was a reception at the golf club. So we had hundreds of people at the golf club with an open mic. Some of the family didn't go because they were very shy, others did because they wanted to hear the tributes. But it meant that the whole thing was able to involve both the family and those who were left behind. A back to front funeral can be helpful, it really can, and it can save money, but you just need to be careful, I think, that you actually still do it. You still do something when you say that goodbye. You don't just have a cremation and no one's there and then have this memorial. It does work for some people, but there are still very close relatives who need that chance to come, even if it's just, as I spoke about that second package in the previous video, about just coming, standing there, placing a flower, playing a bit of music and saying goodbye. So remember that your funeral director can help organise, even if you don't want to pay for their services for the memorial service, they can help you put those things together and give you a bit of an idea on what things cost. DIY funerals also can be a really good way of keeping those costs down. They can be very rewarding, but also full of traps. And I'll talk about this in the next video.